Hallo iedereen, welkom bij Politiek en zo, met het nieuws van de dag. En vandaag gaat het over een politieke advertentie van de UK die viral ging met een nieuwe hoop dat Engeland zal redden hopelijk. En zijn naam is Rupert Lowe met de nieuwe partij Restore Britain. Ik persoonlijk had Engeland eigenlijk al opgegeven en dacht dat het verloren strijd was. Maar out of the blue zie ik opeens de meest fantastieke politieke advertentie van mijn leven. Die nu al meer dan 30 miljoen views heeft op X. Over een man die rondloopt op zijn boerderij, een man naar mijn hart, die vertelt dat het nu echt tijd is om Engeland te redden voordat het te laat is. En deze man, Rupert Lowe, begint zijn eigen partij in Engeland, Restore Britain. En zijn video gaat compleet viral. Hij vertelt de keuzes die we moeten maken zijn pijnlijk. We zullen miljoenen mensen het land uit moeten zetten die niet willen integreren in onze cultuur. En onze cultuur is geen moslimcultuur. Wij zijn een christelijk land. En het is tijd om de vrijbuiters, de parasieten, de illegale, iedereen die onze cultuur haat, terug te sturen. Hier zit ik al jaren op te wachten. Een boer met common sense. Die zegt het op zo'n manier dat iedereen het begrijpt. Dit broedt al vele jaren onder de oppervlakte. Om de eerste wereld niet te laten veranderen in de derde wereld. Het zal niet makkelijk zijn om dit om te draaien. Maar het moet gebeuren als we ons land willen redden. En dit geldt voor het hele Westen. Want alles is in de afgelopen 50 jaar kapot gemaakt. En daarom krijg je dit.
I have chosen to speak to you today from the farm because places like this represent what proper Britain is about. Hard work, responsibility, effort, duty, stewardship. This is the England I know, and this is the England that I love. On a farm, you don't think in election cycles or headlines or polling. You think in seasons. You think in generations, in what you leave behind to those who come after you. And that's why, here on the farm, I am now launching Restore Britain as a national political party. I'm now going to dedicate my life to finding, organising, funding, and providing hundreds of qualified candidates to present to the British people at the next general election. This process has already started, with invitations being issued to patriots in aligned political parties, Reform, the Conservatives, the SDP, Advance, and more. In local politics, we will work in partnership with localised political parties, such as Great Yarmouth First, that have the best interests of their residents at heart, combining our forces at the next general election. The men and women standing for Restore in that election will not be politicians, I promise you that. They will not be failed ministers. They will not be tainted by failures of the past. They will be from business, from the military, from science, from medicine, from education, from industry, representing real communities up and down the country. Every single one will be from well outside the existing political establishment, and every single one will understand the difficult decisions that need to be taken. Because there are no easy fixes. I'm not going to tell you comforting lies about the condition of our country. I have only ever been honest with the British people, and I will be straight with you now. What is necessary will be incredibly painful. But for the first time in a very long time, voters will have a genuine alternative which is truthful with them about the scale of what now has to be done. The first priority is to control who comes to our country, and more importantly, who stays in our country. Restore Britain will not just stop mass immigration, we will reverse it. Every single illegal migrant will be securely detained and then deported. The message will be unrelenting. If you are in this country without our permission, you will be removed. For the foreseeable future, far more people must leave Britain than arrive. If a foreign national is unable to speak English, lives in social housing, claims benefits, refuses to work, fails to integrate, commits crime, or even actively hates our way of life and wishes to do us harm, then they must leave or be made to leave. Restore Britain will make our communities safe again for women and children. That I promise you. If that means millions go, then millions go. We're constantly told that the economy needs vast swathes of low-skilled migrants. We know that's simply not true. What we need is to get millions of healthy Brits back into work. A radical overhaul of how welfare is delivered. Protecting those in genuine need, but not funding healthy shirkers to live off the back of hard-working men and women. If you can work, you must work. It really is that simple. Restore Britain will be abundantly clear. If you consistently refuse work, then you will lose your benefits. We will punish indolence, and more importantly, we will reward success. We will provide vast economic incentives for men and women to start businesses, generate opportunities, build wealth, and create self-sufficient families. Standing here today on the farm, I know exactly what it means to deal with energy bills, labour shortages, regulation, unproductive paperwork, planning restrictions, tax, and endless uncertainty. The state has definitively become the enemy of the people. Restore Britain will burn away suffocating taxes on work and enterprise. We will slash unnecessary regulation. We will dismantle bloated quangos and the overbearing HR culture. We must crush parasitic Britain. We will restore long-term, stable, logical policy so that businesses can plan and invest and grow again. But Restore Britain is about much more than numbers on a spreadsheet. It's about who we are as a nation and who we are as a people. Britain is not just an economy. Britain is not just an idea. Britain is not just a passport. Britain is a nation. Britain is a people, our people. And Restore Britain will never allow that to be erased. We will celebrate our Christian heritage and the identity that built and shaped this country. Responsibility, restraint, forgiveness, duty, and fairness. In short, a high-trust society. That will mean defending our culture. That will mean resisting the relentless creep of radical Islam. That will mean banning the burqa, outlawing Sharia law, blocking cousin marriages, and reimposing our Christian-based rule of law. A Restore Britain government would legislate to ensure that no halal or kosher slaughter on British soil. This is Britain, and we will do things our way. This political party now exists for one reason: to restore Britain, to make it a better, safer, and more prosperous place for British men and women to raise their families. It will be difficult and it will be painful, but I assure you, it is possible. I hope you will consider joining me on this journey and becoming a member of our party. It is our country, it is now our collective responsibility to act. Together, we will restore Britain. Thank you. The ECHR, what does it actually mean for British people? Let's go through a few examples, shall we? A convicted Sri Lankan sex offender allowed to stay in Britain because he is gay and would be at risk of persecution if he was returned to his home country. I don't care. A Jamaican drug dealer was jailed twice, allowed to stay in Britain after claiming his removal would breach his right to a family life. I don't care. A Zimbabwean jailed for killing a man in a car crash. Can I continue? No. A Zimbabwean jailed for killing a man in a car crash, allowed to stay in Britain after it was discovered he had an illicit love child. I don't care. A convicted Indian paedophile allowed to stay in Britain by claiming the move would harm his children. I don't care. An Albanian criminal was allowed to stay in Britain partly because his son will not eat foreign chicken nuggets. I definitely don't care. We hear so much of the human rights for foreign paedophiles, sex pests and murderers.
Is not giving way. Members may disagree with what he's saying, but we will conduct this in an orderly way.
What about the human rights of the British people? The right not to be raped, stabbed and killed by foreigners who should never have been in our country to begin with. Please spare me the continued moral outrage.
Mr. Lowe, sorry, Ms. comme'n is making a point of order.
Yes. The honourable gentleman just referred to the fact that someone, it just mentioned a few moments ago, that someone...
That is not a point of order.
It
It is not a point of order in relation to the content of his speech.
That's wrong.
Mr. Lowe.
Please spare me the continued moral outrage. I am bored of it. The British people are bored of it. It is not cruel to deport criminals. It is not inhumane to defend our own citizens. What is cruel and what is inhumane is allowing foreign killers and sex offenders to walk amongst us in the name of the human rights they should have forfeited the moment they committed their crimes. You can all sit here and persuade yourselves otherwise, but one simple fact remains. The British people want them gone, not some of them, not most of them, all of them. What happens on return to their own country is quite simply not our problem. The solution is 3 straightforward steps. Step 1, leave the ECHR, remove all other legal obstacles to mass deportations, restore Britain's new 100-page plus policy document proves it can be done. Second step.
That is your three minutes.
Chairman, the interventions held me up.
Well, you didn't have an intervention.
Point of order.
En om de wedstrijd te redden, voordat we eindigen zoals Iran, zal pijnlijk zijn en heeft sterke mannen nodig om ons land te redden. Je weet nu al welk speltje de media gaat spelen. Hij zal net als bij Pim Fortuyn, Trump en FVD, zal Rupert Lowe zwart worden gemaakt en nog erger zijn dan een nazi. Maar dit is hoe je je natie redt van de ondergang. Bedankt voor het kijken naar Politiek en Zo. Like en subscribe voor meer. Tot de volgende keer.